The old sundial, which is ancient here at Monaster Bois, reminds us that time passes and that we pass with it. But this would still work if one placed the finger in the hole that is meant for it. It was well calculated, and time still passes as it did for them who made it. Man has had different ways of measuring its passing, and this is one of the most ancient. Monaster Bois reminds us of a few home truths. The monastic buildings, the different strata of graves, and the most recent ones containing even young people taken away after only a short innings, all once stood upon time. And wherever we are upon the sundial, we are all equidistant from eternity. This hit me one day at Roscrea when we lost dear Father Canis. He was barely 74 and had shortened his life through penance. He made up for what had been changed after the council easing of things by taking upon himself extra penance, but it shortened his life. Abbot Columkill was very good to him and gave us in chapter a detailed account of his death. It was in Dublin in the Mater Hospital, and he asked for one last absolution. The abbot gave it, and in one supreme effort of his last energy, Father Canis lifted up his own hand as best he could and gave a priestly blessing before petering out and falling into the hands of his king, whom he had loved so well and served with great devotion and fidelity to his short end. And we were at his side after his death in chapter, even all night, in groups of two, saying the Psalter non-stop and passing the Psalter on to the next group. This was the custom. But I noticed at one point that Brother Emmanuel, who was much older, he was 87, he came to measure him, and he, Brother Emmanuel, dug his tomb. I thought how interesting it is how time treats us unequally. Some have a long innings, some are short, and those who have a long innings tend to be remembered as they were at the end of it, which seems very unfair, for the freshness of their youth is no longer seen, but only the frailty of their years. And I thought, interesting, what will we leave behind when we no longer tread this earth? Beauty is in the soul, not in the fading flower of its envelope. Old age. The years have moods, or these are greying hairs, as all these others that still fair and are refined the light of day. Our body bears the load of time, as doth the new oped flower that wafts the acme of its youth away before our eyes. These eyes that have known friends too fair to be fair long. Is it a day One more, just one, that sighs. Here, growing ends. And be there some that were not meant to die, but to be plucked still living. Lord, the years that cover their forerunners with a lie, forgetting what they were, will they have tears? Not for the stooped and shriveled that walks on, but for the shriveling of some day long gone. We prayed it in me, Etiam Simotus Fuerit, et omnis qui vivit et credit in me, non moritur in eternum. Alleluia. Requiem aeternam dona eis Domine, et lux perpetua lucia Deis, requiescant in pace. Amen.